Hey guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here with a little update on Colleen Ballinger, and specifically I want to talk about some recent content that I've come across that has to do with her from other creators specifically, and kind of bring you guys the things that I don't feel like a lot of people are talking about. And as it relates to Colleen and Jessica Kent both, I want to talk about their most loyal fans, and in times like these, because they're both in their own controversy, and I've been covering both as a commentary channel. I want to talk about kind of how their fans are responding to them being called out and people asking for some accountability when it comes to behaving badly online, and kind of how I feel about it from the stance of a commentary channel, as well as someone who takes in a fair amount of internet content. And we're just gonna have a little chat. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so coming to you again with no makeup. I mentioned in a video, I think a few days ago, all the days are kind of mixing together, but I did mention that I am off work this week, so I've been spending a lot of time at home, a lot of time outside, and kind of giving my skin a break. And it's tough to come online with no makeup and imperfect skin, but I really appreciate you guys. In my video yesterday, like, people were leaving me compliments, and you know, it's unfortunate that it was on a video like that where I'm receiving compliments and the subject matter is so serious, but I just wanted to say thank you for your kind comments. I've always struggled with a little acne, and specifically post-acne hyperpigmentation, and it's tough, but I'm going through, you know, my skincare journey, and luckily my tretinoin is starting to really kick in, and I'm really grateful for that. But just wanted to put that out there as a thank you. So when it comes to some of the content that I've come across, TikTok is talking about Colleen left and right. It feels like every other video that I come across on my For You page has to do with Colleen or her character Miranda, which at this point I'm just going to focus on Colleen, because even if it's a Miranda skit, it's still her who is writing and producing the content that her quote character does. But I'm just kind of tired of people segregating those two, because at the end of the day, nobody writes for Miranda. It's Colleen writing for Miranda. You can't be inappropriate and put red lipstick on and call it a character or call it a skit. I'm not here for it. I came across a TikToker. Her username is Glittering Ghost Writer, and I don't know why I enunciated that so much, but she talked about Darbo and how Darbo ties in with people that have been inappropriate with children, no matter the level, even if it's just a text, if it's a family friend, if it's something much more serious and tragic. A lot of them use Darbo when they're confronted with the evidence. And I'm going to read off what Darbo stands for, and you guys can tell me, do you agree or disagree? Does this relate to Colleen or does it not? So the D stands for denies allegations. And as recent as yesterday, in her tragic ukulele song video that she did, she denied. She denied everything, and it's really interesting because she denies things, but then she acknowledges that she talked to fans. And so it's like, okay, is everything a lie, or are you admitting that you were having inappropriate relationships and trauma dumping on these young teen fans of yours? She kind of did both in that video. The A in Darbo stands for attacks. So it's usually attacking the person that is confronting them with said evidence or receipt or proof of this inappropriate behavior that they have been displaying with minors. And Colleen did that specifically again in her video yesterday, where she was playing her Toxic Gossip Train little jingle, and she attacked the people who came out with their proof against her. Yesterday, she attacked Becky in her video by trying to say that people were upset about her making a quote fart joke, and nobody was upset about that. The thing that people were upset about is the fact that she called this girl up on stage and literally opened this girl's legs. Luckily, she was wearing shorts underneath of her romper. Nobody was focused on the cheesy joke that was made. We're focused on the embarrassment that Colleen caused this girl, Becky. And now she has had to relive a really embarrassing moment of her childhood thanks to, quote, Miranda being, wanting content and pulling this girl up on stage and embarrassing her for clicks and laughs and money. So the R, V, and O in Darbo kind of tie together, and it's reverses roles of the victim and the offender. And we definitely saw that as well. And this isn't the first time that she has done this, where she wants to talk about things, but then she also makes herself the victim and talks about how people are sending her nasty messages and her mental health is taking a nosedive, and she feels sad, and she is just this professional victim simply because people are confronting her with facts, proof, evidence, and trauma that she caused them.
In Colleen's ukulele video, she actually utilizes a tactic very commonly used by predators and abusers. It's called Darbo. Darbo is an acronym that describes the steps that predators will use to avoid taking responsibility. And the very first step is denial. Obviously, Colleen does this like right off in her video, right? She literally starts off saying, people have been saying things about me and they're not true, but I guess the facts don't matter, without actually saying how it isn't true, because there's numerous screenshots and videos and multiple victims that have come out. She doesn't provide any actual evidence, but she does fully deny without being specific at all. Step 2 of Darbo is to attack. Doesn't take long for Colleen to do this in her video either, right? I mean, her chorus is that those of us that are holding her accountable are on a toxic gossip train, that we're monetizing her demise. It's a way to immediately attack the character of anyone who criticizes her. We're just dumb. We're listening to rumors. We don't have the facts. The very last step of Darbo is to reverse the roles between the victim and the abuser. There's a line in her video where she says that, you're stabbing me in my bony little back. Here's the thing, that may sound like that's a statement for all of us, any of us who have criticized her, but it's not. Because you can't stab somebody in the back if you're already, as she would put it, a hater, right? You can only stab someone in the back if you like them, if they like you, if they're a friend or family or a fan. The backstab comment was very specifically for the fans who she traumatized who have reached out. That's her way of saying, I was nice to you, I was kind to you, and look what you did, you stabbed me in the back. Turning herself into the victim now. The unfortunate thing about Darbo is that somehow it works. Research has shown that public opinion has been shifted by this response, and that victims have sometimes taken back testimony when Darbo is implemented. So I wanted to make sure this little infographic was there for her victims. Make sure you're just recognizing her denial, her counterattacks, her role reversal, knowing that it's all a tactic. It doesn't say anything about the actual situation. And most importantly, ignore public opinion on this, okay? Like, I think most people can see and sense the bullshit, but she also has a lot of fans who will continue to stick up for her and continue to attack her victims. Ignore that. It's all part of the manipulation. Because as much as Colleen wants to repeat in her ukulele video that she didn't manipulate her fans, even her apology is extremely manipulative. Don't fall for it.
So I think the idea of Darbo when it comes to Colleen is very interesting, and I definitely think that it fits the role. If you're, going to say if the shoe fits, wear it. I think this shoe does fit Colleen. I think that she's one of those people who thinks that she is smarter than her audience. And clearly she is smarter than some of them, because I'll talk about in the end of my video some of the reaction from her diehard fans in my comment section. And she does have them fooled still to this day. There is no reason why she should not be discussed widely. This is not something where it was one or two texts that have been exposed that were out of line and inappropriate, and she's being called out for that. This is something that was over an extended period of time engaging with minors when she knew that they were children, and she still chose to keep the conversation going for years. This is nobody's fault but hers. Now, this TikTok that I came across is very interesting because somebody noticed that Colleen and Josh, when they were celebrating their last anniversary, right before they announced that they were getting divorced, she wrote him a song. She loves to write these little jingles and just hear the sound of her own voice, in my opinion. But this song actually has the same chord as her ukulele song. So I think that that's, I don't see a lot of other people talking about this, but sure enough, it is the same exact chord. And maybe it speaks to kind of where she is mentally. Does she feel defeated? Does she feel like she's done nothing wrong? And that's the same kind of route that she took with Josh, is that she's trying to take that with these of hers that have come forth to share their story. I don't know. You guys tell me how you feel about this song being the same. I will play both, obviously, but it is literally the same exact thing.
Do you remember when Colleen and Josh were together? Okay, well, right before their divorce, they had their anniversary, and she wrote him a song because she didn't get him a gift. Homegirl loves to write songs. But people think that video of Josh and Colleen is like crazy and so tense, and very much in retrospect, like, of course they were gonna get a divorce. Okay, I'm sure all of you have heard this, but listen to the chords very closely. Toxic gossip train, hop on board but close your eyes, otherwise you'll realize. Okay, ready?
For the last 20 minutes.
Joshua, blue eyes, take a breath away. I guess we now know when Colleen, my girl, is inspired.
Now, in this video, I really want to focus on the facts and the proof, because some of her fans have come to my channel and been like, oh, well, it's just hearsay. No. It's not hearsay. If it was hearsay, I would not be making as big of a deal of this as I am, nor would a lot of other people online that are discussing this. So I'm going to go ahead and play a TikTok where all of the messages are kind of thrown into one video. So any of y'all that still think, oh, this is just hearsay and rumors because you're believing what Colleen is telling you, it will go ahead and hopefully put those suspicions to rest. This is not rumors. It's not hearsay. And it is just, it makes my jaw drop every single time I see these texts that she typed out and sent and continued to nurture these parasocial bonds that she was building with children over and over again over the course of years.
All right, here are the actual screenshots where Colleen was inappropriate with her minor fans. Again, I did not want to share these, but her fans continually keep asking, where's the proof? Where's the proof? This is fake. And it's frankly getting exhausting because there's so much evidence. Here is where Colleen asked Adam when he was 15 if he was a virgin. Here is where she changed her group chat name to Winter C Blockers, and she asked her fans, tell me what move I should make on a very inappropriate word for her boyfriend. That's her boyfriend's name, all mixed in with bad words. And yes, there are minors in this chat where she asked this. Her minor fans answer her, and she says, okay, I'm going to go to him and say, I want to stress eat your wiener. Again, minors are here. To me, though, the inappropriate jokes are not even the worst part. I really think the worst part is where she spoke so personally of her mental health with her minor fans. Like here where she says, hi, everyone hates me. I just can't imagine being like a fan that's like 12 or 13 or 14 and hearing this from my idol and how much stress that would cause me and how much I would feel I would need to comfort them. Like, can you just imagine, like, Taylor Swift says everyone hates me and is clearly depressed and you're obsessed with her and you feel the need to make it better, but you're a kid. Like, that is so much to put on a child. And she spoke a lot about her divorce and complained that her ex said that she was cheating. And again, these kids had to comfort her, even though a lot of these kids also liked her ex-husband. And I think Adam even said this in his video, that he really like worshiped their relationship, and it felt like a divorce of his parents in a way. So he's having to process that information, but also comfort her about it. But she really kept her fans hooked in these group chats by like giving little tidbits, and they got more information than the rest of the fandom, and it created like this personal relationship. And again, she fostered these parasocial relationships with the fans. She made kids feel more important because it got her a lot of loyalty. And I know there's people that be like, oh, she's not a real predator. And like, okay, I'm not saying that she is. What I'm saying is that she used grooming tactics and predatory behavior to get what she wanted out of fans, which was that they buy her merchandise and show up to her shows and give her free labor, and most importantly, attack anybody who attacks her. And you see that in my comments so much. And the things that these kids say is so scary to me. Like, I will always stand by her. Like, I'm a ride or die. Nothing could convince me that Colleen isn't great. That kind of defense is a direct response to the way that she talked about kids here. And even with all this, I guarantee you her fans are going to go into my comments and say this was faked. But I promise you, if it was fake, Colleen would shout that from the rooftop. They'll read this and still say, I just can't believe it. And I understand why. It's because you are trapped in a very toxic parasocial relationship.
I don't want anyone to forget that this was over the course of years. Again, this was not a 1 or 2 text message thing that people have discovered. This was a woman in her late 20s and early 30s with a whole ass marriage, a whole ass house, a big career on YouTube, building bonds with children in group chats, talking to them about NSFW topics and appalling content. I'd also like to focus on the messages that she would send to her group chat. Things like, hi, everyone hates me. And this is obvious trauma dumping. This is obvious, I'm going to tell you guys this because I know that you're going to defend whoever is calling me out on Twitter or YouTube or whatever platform she's being discussed on. This was fuel to the fire that was her fandom that would run around the internet looking for opposing opinions of her, looking and searching high and low for people that did not approve of Colleen. And they would see what she was saying in the group chats, get upset on her behalf, and then go defend her. I also want to say, I understand that venting to people happens. I think that venting is healthy. I've vented to people before. But I go back to where this all kicked off from. I would never vent to a child. Kids have enough to worry about as it is. School, drama, what they're going to wear, what sports they're playing, who likes who, who's talking about who. Teens have enough going on in their normal day-to-day life. Making sure they're not failing classes, peer pressure, all of those things. So why on earth would you, as a full-grown adult, build these group chats and go in there and trauma dump on these kids? She does not care about kids. She doesn't care about the well-being or the mental health of children, or she would have never been sharing the things that she was sharing. Now, in one of her recent live shows, when she was in character as Miranda, she calls Eric, who is her husband, her current husband, up on stage, and they basically poke fun at her being a good wife. And it was just really cringy to witness. I couldn't imagine making light of this situation. This woman's career might very well be over. And she's calling her husband up there as she is dressed in this, costume that is so problematic. Bare minimum, Miranda should have been retired instead of her working on writing a ukulele song.
Hey, what's your name song?
Eric.
Eric, okay. Eric here. Will you be my partner for this challenge?
Sure.
Are you married?
Yeah. To the best woman on the planet.
It's not what I heard.
also another text that I recently came across from Trent Ballinger, which is Colleen's brother, and he was saying how cute fans were and talking to them about sex and obvious, you know, the level of inappropriateness. Do I even have to unpack that for anyone listening to this? Who are you to go into a DM, an email, a group chat, an Instagram like, I don't care what platform you're on, you are a grown adult. There is nothing to do with body parts, sex, just trauma, all of this stuff. Like, you are going into a group chat that is filled with teenagers and you are talking to them about the most inappropriate things and thinking that that is okay. This is okay behavior. It won't come back on me. It won't come back. It won't be exposed. As poor as Colleen, you know, her response was, I said in my video yesterday, I want to hear from Trent Ballinger because she's being inappropriate. He's being inappropriate. Corey, where is Corey's statement? What, is he going to come on and play the piano and sing a song? Absolutely insulting.
It's hereditary. Colleen's brother, Trent, was knowingly DMing multiple girls when they were like 13, calling them cute to come hang out, talking about sex to multiple girls, and he immediately blocked a bunch of people once this came out.
There was a former Miranda fan who shared the self-help book that Colleen published several years ago. And she went through some of the chapters in the book, and this is not a book that I would have ever bought. I don't own it. I wouldn't want to look through it. But she did everyone the favor of showing some of the content of this book in a TikTok. She was 12 at the time, and the things in this book are so beyond disgusting. Talking about how to wipe your own butt, things like it's saying that it's better to die, how to go through the bases in a relationship, how to get a boyfriend, which is basically how to kidnap somebody.
Since all this Colleen Ballinger / Miranda crap is happening, I just found this. And there's some really questionable things in this book that I read as a 12-year-old girl who was obsessed with this person. Obsessed. How to do children. What? Here we go. Babysitting tips. If you have a crying baby, problems, fixes, put something in his mouth. I guess that's an oral fixation, but still. This is by far the most disgusting thing I've ever read. As you have read, babies are useless until they get older. Eventually, they will become toddlers, or as I like to call them, slaves. That's right there. I was reading this as a 12-year-old. A full-on section on how to wipe your ass. Got a section here on video ideas. I wanted to be famous, and I took this as genuine advice. Don't know why. She says, people like watching you throw up. Almost dying is better. Do I have to even say anything about this? This is for TTTTTs, but are you fucking kidding me? That's for T's. Bases in a relationship. I was 12 years old. Get a boyfriend kit, clearly just trying to kidnap someone. I'm just, like, the qualities to look for. Famous, and it's a picture of Shane Dawson. This did not age well. A life hack for how to get pee out of panties. Sure, I might be stretching, but as a 12-year-old who had really big self-esteem issues, this really fucked me up. Because basically, if your self-esteem is still really low, you can cut out this mask and people will compliment you and tell you how pretty you are, so you will get confident. Just all of the worst possible things you could say to a child in this book. Not to mention all the facts that she put about asking your uncle for help. Basically, Adam, I am sorry that you had to deal with this woman and all the other people that had to deal with her. And I am genuinely a messed up person because I followed her for that long.
And Colleen wants to say that, oh, well, you know, my content is PG-13. She didn't care that kids were taking in this content. She wanted to be able to monetize everything about her brand. She did not care who was at her live shows, what she was saying, what she was doing, how she was interacting. She, like a lot of other creators on these platforms, cared about how much money is this going to make me? How am I going to continue this month's success over into next month's success? It doesn't matter if you're traumatizing kids or selling inappropriate books to them or building creepy parasocial relationships with kids in your fandom. How are you going to continue to make sure that they are buying your merch and going to your stupid live shows and watching every single one of your very gross YouTube videos? Now, as much as she wanted to act in her ukulele jingle that she is not a mean girl and she is the one that everyone's being mean to, you know, role reversal again. Shane Dawson, there's a clip that is circulating, and I saw it a while ago, but it's being talked about again, which I'll include for context. But essentially, Shane Dawson confirmed that she is one of the meanest people that he knows. And as soon as they would meet up in real life, in person, for, you know, whatever, whether it was a collab or just hanging out, she would automatically go into, okay, who do you hate? Who do you have dirt on? What's the tea? And it's just so funny to hear that current day, because she wanted to say that, you know, basically like talking about some weird aunt walking around the family reunion. Oh, what's the tea? But she was actually doing that behind the scenes, but she was dead serious about it.
Colleen is known, we were talking about this before we started filming, but she's known in this industry through the grapevine as being a massive shit talker and overall not very nice person. Even Shane Dawson went on a podcast and like jokingly said that she loves to like talk shit and be a mean girl.
Insert clip here.
Colleen is the best because she needs 10 of these fans. She is the most hateful, shadiest. I love her. Like whenever we hang out, literally the first words out of her mouth are, okay, like what do you got? Who do you hate? Who's next?
Yeah, so that was him, like, not, like, that wasn't a joke.
Of course it's not. And I could totally see it too. She has this energy about her. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
And for him to openly say that she is one of the meanest people that he knows, that says a lot. That speaks very loudly to me. I also want to include a couple of TikToks from a user. Her username is Unlucky Pickle, and the I is actually number 1. I will include her profile down below along with some other links for you guys. But she's been unpacking a lot of the Miranda Sings content, and there is so much in between Miranda and Colleen both where there is blatant ableism, racism, basically insinuating that Miranda is being emmed by her Uncle Jim. And to reflect on this current day is just, it's really so tragic that these kids were taking in this content and thinking that this was acceptable or normal. And I realize that, you know, yeah, parents should keep a watchful eye on what are your kids watching, what are they doing on their devices. But kids are also very sneaky. So that doesn't completely excuse Colleen's role in all of this for making this content and knowing that children were watching it. I remember when I first talked about the character Miranda, this was a year or two ago, and I said, you know, this is not okay for children. It's completely inappropriate. It's very creepy and gross and weird. And her fans stormed my video comment sections and said that I was just being a Karen and I was some kind of unhinged bitch for having the opinions that I had. And they couldn't believe that I would pick on Miranda. But I have seen this. I knew Miranda was inappropriate way back before Haters Back Off was even a show on Netflix. I knew that it was wrong. And people that can look at this and still excuse the behavior really need to, in my opinion, get a huge reality check and maybe sign off the internet for a little while, because maybe Miranda Sings has infiltrated some of these super fans and the way that they look at the Miranda content, but it just makes my jaw hit the floor every single time I see a clip that I haven't seen in a while.
So my uncle is one of my best friends, and we have a lot of the same interests. We eat a lot of the same food, which means we like to share food and feed each other lots. One of his favorite things to do is tickle attacks, and also he likes to cuddle attacks. So those are really fun for me.
What is your favorite holiday? Oh, hands down Christmas. You know why? Why? Because Santa's involved. Well, I do love Santa Claus. I like sitting on his lap. Who doesn't love a man with a beard who gives you toys? Who you don't know? Who has small people working for him? That's pretty similar to my uncle, so I really like him a lot.
Also, every year when I'm sleeping, Santa Claus comes in my room in the middle of the night. After he's done putting Christmas presents, he comes in my room and he cuddles me.
Yeah, I have pink eye. I am really unhappy about it. It really hurts, and I'm pretty sure I got it from my uncle. This will attract the men. It's kind of like the bird species, where you want to have bright colors to attract them. So I'm trying to attract them in for school. I love being homeschooled. It's really fun. So every time I do my makeup like this, my uncle says I look beautiful.
I love having movie nights. I have fun with my uncle and mom pretty much every night and fun, and either we make movies or watch movies. You should use it tonight. I know, I sure am. I'm probably going to use it with my uncle. I have to be really quiet because my uncle is sleeping right next to me.
And also my other favorite toy is Tickle Me Elmo, because it reminds me of my uncle. We always play those games together.
My first kiss was really, really wonderful. It was with my uncle. I'm in Germany, and I just want to eat some apple strudels. And my uncle keeps making me eat wieners. He said it's all they have. It's most nutritious.
I've known about this since I was a little girl. My uncle taunted me about it, which is the mistletoe.
Well, if someone walked in the room right now, you know who you are. He'd have to come kiss me.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
Well, that's all right. I landed on my buns. I like them extra sticky.
Guys, I just think you need to be careful talking like that.
What am I supposed to do? This is pretty much the only place in town where I'm still allowed to loiter. A picture of a naked baby in an eggshell? Yes, I also have pictures of clothed babies if you're interested.
React to the video, don't touch me, I'm scared, which is a sentence I say a lot.
Yeah, that's about as bad as I remember. In part 1, which is linked to the caption, we talked about how the core of the Miranda Sings character is based in ableism. In fact, I'm just gonna leave this screenshot here for you to take a little gander at, take a little pause, take a little peek. We also talked about that very creepy and very triggering running joke that Miranda's uncle is a P-word that M-words her. Something that I discovered today is actually even worse content-wise on Twitter. Like, I can't even show you like 99% of the screenshots, that's how bad they are. But in today's episode of the Deep Dive, we're gonna talk about Colleen's history of both in and out of character. And I'm just gonna warn you ahead of time, the stuff I found that hasn't resurfaced yet is truly beyond disgusting, and I'm only able to show you the mild stuff, believe it or not. Now, Colleen's behavior and rhetoric isn't actually completely unknown. Back in 2020, when Adam first brought his allegations against Colleen to light, clips of Colleen as herself out of character started to resurface almost immediately. She of course deleted them and apologized for them, saying that she had grown as a person. The typical influencer apology video template that you get every single time one of their past videos resurfaces like this. But again, she only ever apologized and deleted the stuff that was getting traction at the time, not the stuff that I found. So let's look at the 2 videos that she apologized for first.
And who walks on? An extremely obese Asian woman with facial hair. And she walks on, and I'm like, please don't sit next to me, please don't sit next to me. I crossed the border. I went to Borders, works at the drive-thru at Del Taco. No, of the boys go loco. She puts all the beef in the rice. And then go and catch the mice. My new boy Jose, I saw him outside. He was gardening with his shirt on. I was like, oh.
Now, who knows what else is on Colleen's personal page that people haven't found yet. But now let's go ahead and take a look at what I found on the Miranda Sings channel.
This is my pet, Squanto. Ay, Chichin, yo quiero talk about. Shh, don't speak, Squanto. I'm hungry. Good news, I caught a turkey, so we're gonna eat it together and call it Thanksgiving. You can give me the scraps to Squanto. Ichi michi kichi lichi mina mangarani. Tamagotchi uchi gucci linky niki naki. Spanish is easy. Yo quiero talk about.
That's a stereo.
La cucaracha, la cucaracha. La que no me se
Ya no puede caminar, which means...
No offense, but she takes things really seriously. You think just because you're speaking in Asian, I won't know that you're dissing me?
Now, just in case you didn't catch that, the last clip that I showed in that compilation is from her Netflix show, Haters Back Off. And I'm sure there's plenty more where that came from because I was only able to make it through the first couple of episodes out of 2 seasons, which aired when, you might be asking? 2016 and 2017. So I find it interesting that in her apology video, Colleen said that she had grown as a person, that she was no longer the uneducated white woman that relied on stereotypes of other races to be the butt of a joke. And yet she was writing these jokes into her massively syndicated show that aired in 2016 and 2017. As in, not exactly long enough ago to still be able to claim ignorance. And it doesn't surprise me that she's only ever addressed and apologized for 2 videos after almost being forced into doing so because they were going viral on Twitter. The fact that so many more still exist on her other channels, on the one hand, it could be that she doesn't even see a problem with them, but what I think is actually happening here is that when you have a character that is based in stereotypes themselves, and their whole shtick is that they perpetuate other stereotypes as the joke, she has so much of this content across almost every social platform. It's to the point where it's no longer apologizing for one video here and there. At this point, you gotta apologize for the whole account, for the character itself.
One more thing I want to talk about with her, and then I will move on to the fans of some of the people I've been covering. I want to talk about a conspiracy that has been going on over on TikTok. I've seen a couple of videos about it. It might gain traction, it might not, I'm not sure, but I'm going to talk about it today anyway. People have been saying that maybe she sang this video instead of just making it a normal video so that she could file copyright claims on people that were reacting to it and using her original song as a part of their video.
Someone wrote in and left a comment that I cannot find now regarding Colleen Ballinger, and they said that the reason she did it as this YouTube video song was because of the way that YouTube copyrights music on there, which I have to plead ignorance on. So if anybody has any more details on this, please leave them in the comments or DM it to me on Instagram. And I believe that having the video be 10 minutes allows for there to be ads throughout it so she can monetize off of it even more. But what this person said in their comment was they said that Colleen did it as a song on YouTube so that she could sue people who stitch it or use clips of it, on their platform. So if anyone has any information about that, I would be curious to know. It's too late for me. I already did it 4 times. She is, in my opinion, a piece of work.
This will have zero strength if she tries to go that route because it's all part of fair use. And things would automatically fall apart because it's part of commentary, it's part of her reaction, and that falls under fair use. And people at YouTube know how commentary works. They're well versed in what reaction channels do. So that would just make her look very foolish. I think she thought that she was doing something different in her mind in a good way. But obviously, I maybe she's just not in a clear headspace right now. I'm not sure what's going on. But nobody thought that her bringing out a ukulele was the winning moment. It was not an aha moment. It was a haha moment, and we're all laughing at her because it is truly unhinged behavior. Now, since I've been talking a lot right now about Jessica Kent and Colleen both, I want to talk about the fans that continue to support YouTubers like this. Obviously, you can support whoever you want to support. I've always said I don't ever expect an audience member to take a side or choose a side. I do appreciate when people can listen to my video before making their choice, if they're going to make one. But I'm not here for asking people to choose a side or, oh, if you support this, don't ever look at my channel again. It's an open door policy. Most of you guys know how I feel about that. When it comes to these people, though, supporting people like Jessica Kent and Colleen, and even some of the family vloggers that I talk about, the Doherty Dozen, 8 Passengers, the Ace family, when y'all are being lied to and there's proof to show that you're being lied to, and you come back with, oh, you're crazy, oh, you're the one lying, you're the one riding coattails, I've just come to the conclusion that I think that a lot of these super fans enjoy being lied to. They don't care what their favorite YouTubers do. It could be the worst thing ever. And they are going to continue to excuse that behavior until they are ready to actually really reflect on, okay, why is it that so many people were upset at Colleen? Why were so many people upset with Jessica Kent? And maybe you like being lied to. I don't like being lied to. I don't appreciate being lied to. I am not here for it. I hate liars in my real life. I don't appreciate either being told a half truth or, not being told the truth at all. Either come with the facts or just stay quiet about it. If you're not ready to be truthful, then just shut up about it. But the problem is that these YouTubers want to get ahead of the ball, and especially with Jessica Kent. She wanted to make sure that she put out videos first before Mindy had an opportunity to, even say anything, which we don't even know that she was gonna say anything. She was most likely going to just be quiet. But Jessica thought that her ego was being poked, so she came out with videos first to try to one-up and keep people on her side and get people to continue to believe her narrative, her story, her, recollection of recent events, whatever it is. And when it comes to this situation with Colleen, not only in 2020 did she lie, but she is continuing to lie, and there are fans that are still willing to believe her. That is crazy. So at this point, I'm not here to try to figure out what other people are doing when they're okay being lied to, but I have come to the conclusion that I think that they just enjoy being lied to simply because they have such a strong bias towards their favorite YouTuber. There is nothing that this person could do that would be wrong enough in their book, even if they're causing trauma to other people. It doesn't matter. Even if they're lying, even if they're mistreating people. That is not good enough for some of these super fans to actually say, this is probably not somebody that I should maybe, believe everything they're saying, and maybe I should listen to both sides of the story. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Y'all can support whoever you want to on this platform, but I do think that it is very interesting to see the response from people when actual facts are being presented and people go so far to deny actual evidence. They just still deny it. Now I want to go to my video from yesterday and read a couple of comments from Colleen's fans that left me some lovely little comments. You know what's so crazy? This video has 651 likes and only 1 dislike. I am shocked by that. Most of my Colleen videos get a huge amount of dislikes because her fans usually just, again, they look for things that are giving her criticism. Okay, so here's one, and this is kind of the same message that I've seen from several of her followers, and it says, "Oh, stop. What gives you the right to say anything? Who are you?" Why does it matter? If it's on the internet, everyone's allowed to give commentary on it. Once it's online, it is up for public discussion. Continuing on, you are just a viewer and you have no real facts. You're going off of people, of what people say. Everything you have is hearsay. Lady, are you kidding? And shame on you to use someone else's mistakes as a way to make money, because that's what you're doing. Again, I covered this in this very same video. What she did is not a mistake. Stop trying to label causing trauma and being inappropriate with children as a mistake. It is not a mistake. And there have been plenty of receipts. Do 5 minutes of research and you'll see everything that you need to see, but you'll probably still be in denial because you are a terrible YouTuber apologist. She continued by saying, talking about her is making you money because she's the main topic on social media right now. Can't help what people want to listen to. People are interested in Colleen right now and all of her antics. People might be interested in something else a month from now. I'm a commentary channel, and yes, I talk about things that are relevant because that is what commentary channels do. You're using her story to make money for yourselves. Lady, I'm only one person, just saying. You know, as far as, and she says you're using Colleen and her entire family to make money. Again, I can't help what people are interested in. If they choose to subscribe to my channel because of the way that I deliver a video, that's amazing. If they choose not to, that's amazing too. I have an open door policy. I am not chasing anything out of YouTube. YouTube does pay me a small amount every month that I use as extra money. It is literally extra money because I have a full-time job that takes care of my normal monthly bills. I am very grateful and extremely blessed that YouTube does give me a little bit of extra money. And I hope that that extra money will eventually allow me to help people that are closest to me, because I think that's what we all want to do at the end of the day, is be able to, be in a better position to care for people that might need us. And that's what I will say about that for right now. But as far as paying my bills, my full-time job does that. So as far as, making money, sorry my channel's monetized. Sorry you don't like my opinion, and sorry you're having a hissy fit meltdown simply because one of your favorite YouTubers has been exposed as a group and somebody who is inappropriately talking to children in direct messages. Go excuse that elsewhere. I'm not going to stand for it. But there were several comments along those lines, and it's not just on yesterday's video. You can look on any Ballinger video that I've done on my channel over the last 3 years, and you will see the apologists and the excusers and the super fans all over the comments section. You can look on any YouTuber who talks about her. She just has people that are constantly going to excuse and deny what she has done, what her role in all of this was, and the negative impact that she made on children when they were literal teenagers. So you can excuse that elsewhere. I'm sure that Colleen would love your support and admiration right now, because she is certainly being called out for good reason. But I think that's going to be it for now. So if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.